Last month, almost the entire country performed the biannual ritual of changing our clocks. In this case, springing forward to start daylight saving time. But on Capitol Hill today, lawmakers debated getting rid of this practice once and for all. William Brangham explains.
I know I speak for many Americans when I say it's time to figure this out.
Congress has the authority to end this outdated and harmful practice.
We just have to make daylight savings time permanent, in my opinion, one way or the other, or at least get more. We need more sunshine.
Today's hearing, named after Cher's hit song, If I Could Turn Back Time, examined a bipartisan bill called the Sunshine Protection Act, which would change our current system where in March, most states spring forward to daylight saving time and then in November fall back to standard time. This law would establish permanent daylight saving time nationwide, no more switching.
The American people are sick and tired of changing their clocks twice a year. It's confusing, unnecessary, and completely outdated.
My name is Scott Yates. I've been reading, writing, and testifying about this for nearly a decade, and I have this recommendation.
Scott Yates, founder of the Lock the Clock campaign, has been on a years-long mission to ditch the switch. He cites evidence that in the days immediately following the time change, human health suffers.
Peer-reviewed studies consistently show that heart attacks go up, strokes, car crashes, even miscarriages spike in those days following the spring switch. A study from the University of Vienna found deaths overall just increased by 3% in those couple of days after the change.
You have been like a modern-day Sisyphus, trying to push this rock up a hill. Now you're here in Washington. Do you think this is finally going to be the day that you win the argument?
Well, I hope so.
According to polls, it's an idea that's gaining popularity. President Trump has voiced support. But the right solution, permanent daylight saving time or permanent standard time, has been debated for years. And today's raft of testimony reflected the competing issues. Jay Karen represents the golf industry, which favors permanent daylight saving time, which would extend daylight for all those late afternoons on the links.
Golf thrives on what we call recreational daylight, the overlap of sunlight and people's availability to be outdoors.
But then Dr. Karen Johnson, representing the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, testified that the darker mornings you get with daylight saving is terrible for sleep. The Academy recommends permanent standard time.
Morning light and healthy sleep are known treatments for depression. On the other hand, poor sleep increases the risk of drug use, alcohol use, and other risk-taking behaviors.
And Dr. David Harkey of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says that in terms of accidents and public safety, darkness is dangerous.
The clearest takeaway from this research is that there is a strong relationship between increased darkness and fatal crashes, particularly for pedestrians and bicyclists.
So how did we get here?
Where did this idea come from that I remember being told as a kid that this was to help the farmers of America?
That is one of the myths that I don't understand about because it's 100% wrong.
David Perrow has written 2 books on the strange history of why we change our clocks. It started after the Germans changed their clocks during World War I to save energy. The U.S. later copied that and kept it up for several decades. In the 1960s, President Johnson signed a law setting official dates for the switching back and forth. But during an energy crisis in the 70s, President Nixon reversed that, establishing year-round daylight saving time. But pretty soon, the country saw the darker side of daylight saving, which adds more sunshine to our evening, but steals it from the morning.
What happened was it seemed okay until the middle of winter in 1974, when it became very unpopular very quickly. People really disliked the winter daylight saving time. They disliked having to get up in the pitch dark, having to commute to work in the dark, and having to send their kids to school in the dark.
President Ford then reversed course, and we went back to changing clocks twice a year. Which brings us back to today's debate. Should we stop switching? And if so, which time do we choose?
It's a question of what do you care about more, sunshine and joy and fun and money, or health, mental health, physical health, and the honest answer for most people is, gosh, I care about all that stuff. So that's not an easy trade-off.
This isn't the first time this legislation has been introduced, and the chances of the bill clearing the Senate and being taken up by the House remain slim. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm William Brangham.